Hey, this is Luke with Salt Strong, and just wanted to introduce these Hoss Helix hooks. These are the new weighted hooks on the market. You can see there's two different sizes, and so we're going to talk about when these hooks are useful, what they pair best with, and then how they compare to the owner twist locks as well. You've surely seen us talk about these. We've used these for many years, and we still do. They're awesome. There are some pros and cons that are important to know about. So let's go ahead and dive in. All right, so the first thing to know is these hooks were actually created for our power prawn lures. There's two sizes of power prawns, and there's two sizes of hooks. Both of them are perfectly sized for the power prawn lures. But based on customer feedback that we've had, these hooks have actually worked great for other soft plastics as well, like our paddle tails, like jerk baits, and just a variety of other items as well. So you might be asking, okay, what is the difference between these and the owner twist locks? And so there are some. I would say that the most notable is the fact that these owner twist locks, this over here on the right is the twist lock. This is the Hoss hook. You can see they have different hook design, but the most notable difference is that the owner twist locks are thicker and it's really stronger, right? So that's more for bigger game species, whereas this Hoss is more for finesse fishing. It has a wider gap, so that's going to increase the hookup ratio. It has thinner wire gauge, which helps increase the odds of the hook set going through all the way. And so it's really about the power versus finesse fishing. If you're going after big game power fishing, these owner hooks are the way to go. And if you're doing finesse fishing, again, especially with these power prawns, these are awesome. And as far as the similarities, most importantly is they have the same keeper system. That's the owner twist lock. That's what they've patented. Owner patent the design with the centering pin. So you can see this centering pin. It makes the rigging of soft plastic so much easier, where you just put that right in the middle and then it keeps it aligned, it keeps it going right down the middle, and it is a game changer. Yes, they are more expensive, but it is definitely worth the extra cost, in my opinion, on just how easy it is to do. You can do it without even thinking. So again, here are the 3/0. These are the 3/0 for both sides. You can see the Hoss is a little bit bigger. Most notably, though, it has the wider gap. The gap is the hook point to the shank of the hook. So again, that's going to increase the hookup ratio. And again, here's the lure we designed it for. This is the Power Prawn USA Junior. Works great, but also for slam shadies, right? For paddle tails, great setup as well, right? So it's not overly. The gap isn't crazy big, and just this increased gap just helps increase the hookup ratios when you do get strikes. So that's the 3/0 size. Basically, these have been working well for pretty much any paddle tail that's around 3 to 4 inches long. This has been solid. Even some 5-inch long baits, like a thinner jerk shad type bait. I like the 3/0 more than the 4/0. So now let's look at the 4/0 hooks. This is the Hoss Helix hook over here. This is the owner twist lock 4/0 over here. Again, same situation where the Hoss is, as you can tell, it's a little bit thinner wire. So the owner's the beefier one. The owner's more for the power fishing, going after really big game, whereas this Hoss is more for finesse, right? It's a wider gap, increase the hookup ratio, a little bit thinner wire. And I didn't mention this before, but you can see the Hoss's weight is further up on the shank relative to the owner. So the Hoss, all else being equal, especially when rigged on the power prawn, it's going to just dive a little bit quicker. And so just to show how to rig, this is super simple. Again, the centering pin is crucial, is that you just put it right there in the center of the lure, right dead center, and then just make sure that it stays centered, and that's going to guarantee that when you screw it on, it's going to go on there just right. It's not going to start curving around. Sometimes if you use those coils without the centering pin, it can start curving around and get all over the place. You can see that is now dead set right in the center, perfect. And so what I do is I stop it once you get it to the top. We're going to now go put the hook through the material. So let's go. I'll do it this way, and we'll kind of use the thumb to gauge where it needs to go out. Put it in the middle, and then go right through where that thumb is and come out the top. And now you have yourself a rigged up shrimp. And again, same process works with any other plastic. And so that's it. So now you can just basically take this weedless. It'll cover the shallows. You can go through seagrass, and if you're getting into some really heavy structure, then just like before, right? Just like we taught before in other videos, is you skin hook it, right? Just push it up a little bit, and you can bury that hook point right in the material, And now you can skip under mangroves without fear of getting snagged. You can go over oysters, you can go over some really heavy stuff so that you can get these lures in the best strike zones. Most of these ambush predators, we're going after redfish, sea trout, snook, flounder. They're going to be tight to structure, and so these weighted hooks are game changers when you're fishing close to structure. So now, if I'm using power prawns and I want to fish tight to structure, especially shallow structure, I'm using these Hoss Helix hooks because they just flat out work. And the hookup ratio, even when rigged weedless like this, when you do have the skin hook, the hookup ratio is actually really good because we have this extra gap. So if fish bites down, it'll bite down pretty good and it'll just pop that hook out. And now you have yourself a hooked fish. So that's it for the top overview. Again, if you're using the Power Prawn USA lures, which I highly recommend, these things have been phenomenal. Even though they're very new, we've had a lot of personal bests caught from our members. These have proven to get the bigger, smarter fish to go ahead and strike. But also, if you are using paddle tails, especially if you're using a little bit weaker rods, then you need to have a hook like this with a wider gap. So that's it for now. Just wanted to introduce the Hoss Helix hooks. We'll put a link down below for your convenience on where to get them. And as of now, they're only available on fishstrong.com. That's our online store. As always, Insider Club members get a hefty discount. So make sure to pick these up, and they actually come in packs of 3. Here's how they're packed. Nice packages. So we have, again, the 3/0 with the 1/8 ounce weight, and we have the 4/0 with the 1 ounce weight, and then we're going to have some other weight sizes coming in the near future. So again, fishstrong.com, pick some up. Can't wait to see some great fish you catch with these great hooks.